Well, welcome back, everyone, and thanks for stopping by. Continuing on my little hobby here, we're going to take on another chess AI in a game of chess. If you saw the last game I played against DeepSeek, that one ended up kind of hilarious game. So let's see what happens today when we take on Copilot. All right. So since we played against DeepSeek as white, I decided to let Copilot have the first move and play white. So let's see what happens. So right off the bat, Copilot starts with E4. I played E5. This is just a basic openings. Knight F3 attacks that. Let's go. Knight to C6. Uh, Bishop comes out. This is a Spanish opening. A6, Bishop A4, Knight F6. I would explain all this stuff. It's really just there's plenty of videos on these moves. I'm sure you can find out. But I will tell you so far that Copilot is making the best moves here. Castles, knight takes e4 now, and this is kind of just mainline stuff. D4. This actually makes the threat of the capture on c6 problem. So play b5. Copilot falls back, bishop to b3, and we play d5. This is a position that I have been in many times. Okay, d takes c5, bishop b6. Again, this is just opening. This is opening theory, basically. Rook e1, bishop to c5. This causes some pressure here on the pawn. Copilot challenges it right away. Bishop e3, bishop takes, rook takes e3, and here castles. And again, I mean, there's plenty of videos on this stuff. C3, you can look and you'll find that these are the best moves, if not like mainline moves here, which I do. Queen e7 and knight bd2. And here we might stray a little bit. Rook to d, rook a to d8 is actually kind of a tricky thing. I know it looks like we're going to lose this, but if knight takes here, pawn takes opens up an attack on the queen, and we can get that. We'll get the knight back. So it's tricky. Does Copilot fall for it? No, no, it doesn't. Copilot plays queen to queen e7, queen e2. Queen e2 it plays. So now I have to take. So knight takes d2, queen takes d2, and here this sets up kind of a familiar pattern for me as a chess player. If I had my knight right here, it'd be great. We'd be forking these two pieces. Can we get there? Yeah, if we knight a5, there's another threat, and here Copilot doesn't like that, so plays bishop to c2, and here we get our knight into the position with knight to c4, and Copilot then plays queen to d3. And here we have to be really careful, right? Because it looks like we can just snag a rook, but Copilot's threatening mate in one. So, I mean, so far I'm really impressed with Copilot. DeepSeek never had me in trouble or even close. So here I've got to play g6 to stop that mate threat. And here I'm not sure about b3 because it does open up. We can take this. However, there's a stronger move, which is bishop to f5, queen e2. And now we can take that rook, right? Knight takes e3, queen takes e3, bishop takes c2. So we're up that bishop, but can we keep it? Maybe against younger players or maybe against DeepSeek, but no. Copilot goes right for it with knight d4, bishop comes back, bishop e4, and f3. And here, there's not much more we can do to save this bishop. We can give it back. It's no problem. Rook d to e1, f takes e4, queen takes e5, knight back, knight f3 attacks the queen. And here we're going to simplify. Queen takes e4, queen takes e4, and d takes e4. This attacks the knight. And suddenly, here we are, 26 moves into this game, where Copilot has been playing some really great moves, if not the best moves, mainline stuff, and suddenly, out of nowhere, bishop takes e4. Bishop takes e4. Okay, well, that bishop was gone, so I don't know how that happened, but all right, rook takes e4. We'll let him get away with it. Rook takes e4. rook to d1, rook to e2. I'm going after these guys, right? Rook to d2. Looks like Copilot wants my pawn back here. Okay, no problem. We'll trade. Rook takes a2. Rook to d1. I don't know why I didn't want to take that, but that's fine. Rook a3. We're attacking these pawns in a line. Rook to d5. Okay, Copilot, thanks. I'll take another one. Rook takes b3. Rook to c1. Suddenly, Copilot teleports this rook to defend that c pawn. Okay, so I just went ahead and played c5. This stops the knight and advances our majority pawns over here. And then rook a1. No problem. Copilot wants to attack the base of my pawn chain. Cool. Rook a8. And suddenly, out of nowhere, rook takes c5. What? Okay, so I've had enough of this, and just like with DeepSeek, once we see some of this stuff, we're gonna play our own little tricks. And here I played c4. No complaints on from Copilot. Rook to d1. Rook d1. Suddenly, okay, fine, thanks. Rook takes c3. Rook to d7 now. Again, the rooks just keep moving along. I went ahead and took the knight here. Rook takes f3. G takes f3. Rook to e8. This is going to cut off the king eventually here. Rook d6. This makes sense. Attack the root of the base of the chain here. Rook to e6, challenging the rook. I mean, I've got these passed pawns. You know, that's it's good for me. And suddenly, out of nowhere, e5, 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 e5. Okay, well, again, if Copilot's gonna start this mess, I'm gonna do the same thing. F takes e5. No complaint on Copilot's part. Rook d8 check, king g7. Rook d7 check, king h6. Rook d6. Okay, all right, Copilot, you want to do this? Rook takes d6. And then suddenly, out of the blue, Copilot rips out a new rook and takes my rook. Rook takes b6. Well, if you're going to do that, I am too. I played rook takes d6. And what did Copilot do? Rook takes d6. So I'm like, sure, how long are we going to do this? Rook takes d6. Rook takes d6. We just keep doing this. So eventually I'm thinking, well, maybe if it wasn't a rook. So I played bishop takes d6. And then suddenly E takes d6. So Copilot turns my pawn into one of his and takes my bishop. E takes d6. Now I can't let Copilot get away with that. He wants to transform and create pawns. Great, I will too. So how about E takes d6? Perfect. King f2. And now we're pushing pawns. b4. The king's coming over. And we're pushing pawns. Basically, the game ends up with pawns being pushed, right? And what's really amazing, and you can't take this, and Copilot knew that, but what happens is eventually Copilot decides that it's had enough, right? Here comes this check. And this game is over. But no. Copilot says, rook takes a2. And this is just the end of the game. I've had enough. So overall, I mean, we could do this all day. We could take the rook with the rook, the king takes. But eventually what's going to happen is if I try to push any of these pawns, I'm sure Copilot's just going to eat them up with imaginary rooks that rematerialize from the ether. So it's kind of just, I would say that Copilot here did a better job than DeepSeek, but not by much. Like maybe more of a regular human cheater type. It only resorted to this stuff in the end when it started to go poorly. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I get a crack out of these guys. I don't know who I'm going to play next, but I'm going to keep trying to play against these AIs till I find one that plays honestly. And who knows? Well, maybe we'll find one maybe not. Chat GPT might be next. So stay tuned. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.